139 points. And that was without Ryan Fitzpatrick. Week 1 is in the books. Week 2 is almost here. And this is the Windy City Fantasy Football League show. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Ba 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 ba.
Okay, start over.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to week 2 of Windy City Fantasy Football League video.
Ah.
I have a special guest with me today.
I was able to make it. Our son is...
We are happy to report our son is doing much better. So he is back to his crazy self. So good there.
Yep. The 2018 football season is
Underway.
up and rolling. So
Week 1 was an emotional week for those of us watching this video.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of season left. I think the fantasy football matchups were a lot more interesting than the games.
They were a lot more interesting than the games.
So we've got that going for us.
Yes. So that brings us, of course, to our yellow legal pad analysis.
Legal pad analysis.
That's right.
Much more professional and truth-wise than napkin analysis.
Yes.
We'll edit that out.
So just kind of a quick recap of week 1.
Winners!
Our winners were Sam, Michaela, Jen, Austin, and Matt. So
It seems like you put that in an order.
Weird.
What order is that?
That is the most points scored.
So I scored the most points?
Eh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, Sam had a gangbusters week. He had 139.7 thanks to Hill, who got him 35.3, and Connor, who got him 29.2.
Yeah, Tariq Hill was a madman and good pickup on Connor.
Since Le'Veon is out.
Yeah.
And we'll see how long that lasts for you. Michaela had 118.4, and she did so because 4 of her players got 20 points. So that's pretty awesome. It was Cousins, Gurley, Mike Evans, and Adrian Peterson. So that'll shoot you right up the charts there in a hurry.
Probably won't have much better week than that, especially not this upcoming week, but we'll get to that later.
I had 106 points, riding on the back of my first round pick, Kamara, 34.1 points.
That's a lot of points.
So that was pretty awesome. Austin and Matt had 96 and 86 points. The only thing we're really going to say about that is poor Sue and Craig. They lost with over 100 points, and neither you or Austin even had 100 points. So
that's why we play the games against who we play them against.
So that brings us into what were you thinking?
What were you thinking? What were you thinking? This is where we go over some of the more questionable roster choices of last week and how they did not work out in some of us' favor.
What would have happened, how essentially if you had made the other decision, you would have probably been the winner.
This is basically a hindsight
2020
kind of feel.
So Craig played Williams and McCaffrey, who got him basically 12 points total.
Yeah.
He could have played either Ajayi, who would have gotten him 20.2, or Crowell, which would have gotten him 22. If he had played both of those, he definitely could have edged out.
Well, I can definitely see why he picked the guys he picked, because the defenses he was going up against probably weren't the best, but I don't think anybody expected the Jets to destroy the Lions the way they did, or I don't think a lot of people expected the Eagles to be running the ball as much as they did. So
right. Emily had a player put up a goose egg, so it's pretty easy for us to say, hey, if you had played Kenny Stills and gotten 22 points compared to 0, you would have been in better shape.
Marquise Goodwin was ill, so he was unable to suit up against the Vikings. However, the rest of his team really didn't do all that much either. So
there you go. Sue, in the same boat, didn't want to take a chance on Randall Cobb and instead played Hogan, who got her 1 point, 1 catch for 11 yards.
I really appreciate the homerism. You didn't want to put in a Viking against the Bears. Unfortunately, even Aaron Rodgers on one leg is...
You didn't want to put in a Packer against the Bears?
What did I say?
Viking.
Oh, yeah. It's actually a Packer against the Bears, not a Viking against the Bears.
No.
But my point of Aaron Rodgers on one leg still being really good still stands.
In the future, yes.
Yes.
And Jameson should have changed. Jameson's name should be Chief Bears instead of Bear Chiefs, because Patrick Mahomes had 28.3 points and Troops only had 14. So
yeah, Mahomes outscored all 3 Bears on Jameson's roster. I'm not complaining personally, but perhaps going forward, that is something you should maybe take a look at.
And lastly, Lindsay, there's not much you could have done to beat me, because basically everybody on your bench would have given you the same result. So I don't know how that's supposed to make you feel, but that's how that segment goes.
Well, I definitely know somebody is very cocky about her win this week. So
no. Breakouts, busts, and big outs. I wanted to do breakouts, busts, and big outs. But right now we're just doing breakouts and busts.
Not a lot of outs right now.
So
a lot of stuff up in the air.
So the breakouts that we have on here were Ryan Fitzpatrick and Deshaun Jackson. Who saw that coming?
Yeah, who in the world saw a backup quarterback in Tampa Bay and an aging wide receiver next to Mike Evans putting up 60 points between the two of them? Ryan Fitzpatrick putting up 45 points against the Saints.
I think I'm more impressed that nobody has jumped on the bandwagon. He's still available in our league. I really thought somebody would jump on the bandwagon. I know it's only for a couple of weeks, but 45 points, that's over half of Jameson's score from last week.
I'm not sure if that's necessarily a bad idea either, because I don't know if Jameis Winston's going to get his job back.
I kind of hope he doesn't, but that's me.
45 points.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And they weren't playing nobody. They were playing the Saints.
In the Saints building.
In the Saints building. I mean, it's crazy. Which we'll get to the Saints defense in a minute. But on a also shocking note, the Jets defense.
Yeah, where did that come from?
WTF. 25 points.
Highest scoring defense of the week. They edged out the Vikings against
San Francisco.
The San Francisco 49ers. Yeah,
but
they had
18. But we're talking the Jets defense had 25 points. Yeah. They even got cocky in post-game shows and said, yeah, we knew every move that the Lions were going to make. To be fair, it kind of seemed like they did. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that anyone is necessarily a believer in the Jets, Jets, just yet. So time will tell.
Yeah.
This was a one-and-done defense week.
Yeah, have to keep an eye on who they're playing from week to week, because they could be a good matchup for somebody if you're looking for a defense to pick up.
Yeah. The other breakouts that we had are, those are the 3 that are available. The other breakouts were, of course, Hill, Connor, and Kamara, who did awesome for Sam and I, over 30 points. right there. The bus that we had, sadly. So, Lindsay's pick of Kareem Hunt, 4.9 points.
Sadly, Tyreek Hill basically consumed the entire offense for the Chiefs that week. He did everything and anything, which left out a lot of other players. So
we'll see. It was just 1 week, but so that one was a bust, and that was your first round pick. Same with Fournette. He bust 5.5 points.
Yeah, he kind of went out with an injury, so
yeah,
we'll have to see what happens there. But, yeah, definitely not a good starting point for him.
No. And then lastly for a bust I had on here was the Saints D. Luckily they were on my bench, but they were projected to actually get like 8 or 9 points. Well, they did.
They did the opposite of that.
They got negative 9 points.
Yes, they did.
That's sad.
Ryan Fitzpatrick made them look
you
bad.
up. And on a side note, the Saints defense is now available in our league. If anybody wants, you want to. There was also kind of the quarterbacks that kind of fizzled out. Deshaun Watson, Big Ben, Dak Prescott, Nick Foles, all really didn't have great first opening weeks.
Yeah, you could almost maybe even throw in Matt Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Not great.
Yeah.
Just
Cam Newton really didn't have a huge week. But, yeah, just a lot of subpar play this first week. Hopefully that was everybody getting the rust out, and we'll see some much better football in the weeks to come.
Yeah. There was also some tight ends when I was reading the takeaways from week 1. The biggest busts were quarterbacks and tight ends that were supposed to do better.
Yes.
The tight ends that we all had was Jimmy Graham, Travis Kelce, and Evan Ingram. Just not getting. I think there was like less than 10 points between the 3 of them combined.
There were.
So
Instagram, your namesake, he put up a big goose egg. Not that it mattered in the long run as far as that game, but he definitely could have put up some more points for you. Travis Kelce, he caught one ball for, I think it was 6 yards or something ridiculously stupid like that.
And Ingram got me 2 points, whereas if I had played my Cook tight end for the Raiders would have gotten me 18 points. So that was kind of my what was I thinking, but I still won, so I didn't get to do it.
Shucks.
I know. But so those were the tight ends that really didn't do it all this week. So
next week's matchups.
This week our matchups are looking
Week 2.
Looking pretty close, which is good. Me versus Sue, we're separated by 1 point. So it's really going to just depend on how our people either show up or shut up.
We're going to see if any late second roster changes may swing the tide in that game. We'll see what happens.
Lindsay versus Sam. Sam has the edge. However, Sam's quarterback...
He's only got one leg. And he's going up against the Vikings. By the end of that game, he might not have either leg.
I know that there was talk that they might sit him, and I think that probably would be the best option for them, although since none of us like the Packers, play him.
Well, unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers has talked a big game, and he got hurt last year playing the Vikings, so... Odds are is he's going to play.
And regret that decision.
Yeah, I think Packers fans might not like that, and that might not do well for you, Sam. But you know what? Who's gonna question Sam with 139 points?
Exactly. And he almost had that astronomical amount before Rodgers came back in the game. I mean, Rodgers did get him 20 points, but he still would have had more than the highest scoring Michaela.
Yeah.
If Rodgers hadn't come back in. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good thing that championships are not won on 1 week. So.
Yeah, because weren't you 0-2 last year to start the season?
Damn straight I was.
Craig has Delaney Walker and Emily has Greg Olsen. They are both I don't know if they're officially ruled out, but in our analysis, they show 0 points.
Delaney Walker did tear up his knee. He's officially done for the season. So
you need to get him removed. And Greg Olsen, I don't know. I know he hurt his foot. I don't know.
He might be a game time decision, but it's not looking good for him.
And it shows 0. So you guys need to update, switch that around.
Yep. Craig, you're going up against Austin this week, and then Jameson is Emily's opponent for this week. So, some roster tweaks, but those should be some good matchups.
And last but not least,
Michaela versus me. According to the points, I am estimated to just throttle you, Michaela. But
10 points.
But as my roster said last week, I mean, Travis Kelce was supposed to give me like 11 points, and he gave me something like 2. LaShawn McCoy was supposed to give me 11 points. He got me 2. So, again, I think this one's going to come down to how the players play and how many points they're able to put up against their matchup. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. You have to play Rashard Penny.
Find a penny, pick him up.
Yeah, against my Bears defense. Do it. All right. Well, yeah, so week 2, almost here.
Almost here.
We're going to find out who, well, in the NFL, they say the teams who start 1-0
make the Super Bowl.
Make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs
53% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the teams that go 0-1 make the playoffs about 25% of the time. That has no bearing on our league whatsoever. But it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out. Because right now, we're 50-50. 5 wins, 5 losses. So we'll see how the standings shake out after this week. So I would like to thank our sponsor. Our sponsor this week is Ashley Furniture. Why Ashley Furniture, you say? Because they made this couch. This comfortable couch we're sitting on. They didn't give us any money. They just gave us a comfortable couch. And for that, we're grateful. Thanks for everybody for watching. We hope you enjoy these videos. We're going to keep doing them week to week. Hopefully you find them entertaining.
Last week's was the best. Just saying.
My God, she has a big head about that. All right, guys.
That's all, folks.
Ba 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 ba.